Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So, have you noticed something kind of strange lately? A lingering feeling every single time you pick up your phone? The internet just feels different now. It's not that it's slower or faster, it's just colder somehow. More artificial, literally more fake. You open up Instagram and bam, you're immediately flooded with perfect bodies, perfect lifestyles, flawless routines, relentless success. You jump over to YouTube and it's just this wall of hyper-optimized thumbnails and engineered emotions. Everything is so incredibly polished. And somewhere deep down, you feel it, don't you? Something just feels off. It feels, well, less human.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to reflect for just a second on why it feels this way. Think about how completely engineered and calculated these platforms have become in today's attention economy. We spend hours, literally hours of our day interacting with a digital reality that's been meticulously designed to capture and hold our gaze. But why does this modern digital experience leave us feeling so hollow? Why exactly does social media feel so incredibly fake right now?
Section 1. The Vibe Shift.
Think back to the early web. You know, that era of raw, chronological feeds and messy, super customized HTML profiles. It was chaotic, it was completely unfiltered, and man, it was deeply human. People just posted random thoughts, weird videos, terrible edits, and completely unpolished moments. Nobody gave a second thought to studying the algorithm. People created things simply because they wanted to share them. And strangely enough, that exact imperfection is what made the old internet feel so incredibly real. Contrast that with today. Now, everything is polished, calculated, and relentlessly optimized.
Section 2. Attention as Currency.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the whole ecosystem evolved. We started at step 1, right? Sharing purely for human connection. But then came the historical turning points, stuff like the invention of the retweet back in 2009, or the introduction of the like button. Those completely gamified human interaction. Almost overnight, attention became currency. Views became status, followers became power. So we moved to step 2, optimizing for engagement. And finally, we arrived at step 3, performing for virality. See, once attention became this highly valued currency, authenticity was basically forced to die, because suddenly just being real, it wasn't enough anymore. You had to perform success, perform happiness, perform a life that other people would admire. The internet transformed from a cozy place of connection into a literal stage for performance.
Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds. The psychology of performance.
Think about how you naturally process the world around you. You constantly evaluate yourself, right? You ask, where am I at? How am I doing? Am I enough? That's actually a natural comparison mechanism built deeply into the human brain. But historically, this only happened within small evolutionary tribes. We are literally bound by something called Dunbar's number. It's this cognitive limit that basically says we can only really maintain about 150 stable social relationships. Well, social media took that limit and completely shattered it forever. Now you are comparing yourself to millions of curated, wealthy, ridiculously attractive digital personas. Your brain was absolutely never built to handle this. Just imagine scrolling for 1 hour. You see luxury cars, perfect relationships, dream vacations, insane wealth, status. Even if logically in the back of your mind you know it's all curated, your brain still reacts emotionally. Suddenly, your perfectly fine, ordinary life starts to feel kind of boring, and your own progress feels agonizingly slow.
Which leads us directly into this seriously dangerous psychological loop. Step 1, you present a slightly better, filtered version of yourself online. Step 2, you get approval in the form of likes, which triggers a massive dopamine hit in your brain. Ding! Every single notification becomes this powerful emotional reinforcement. So your brain learns a very quick lesson. Hey, if I present a strategic, upgraded version of myself, I get rewarded. And then comes step 3, authenticity completely fades. This is actually a perfect example of Goodhart's law in action. That law says that when a measure, like likes or retweets, becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure of actual human connection. People stop posting reality. Instead, they start posting strategy. Social media stops reflecting real life and starts manufacturing a total fantasy.
Section 4. The Algorithmic Fantasy.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the massive disconnect between the machine and the human. Think about what algorithms actually reward. Shock, drama, fear, outrage. Why? Well, because strong emotional intensity keeps you glued to the screen. And the longer you stay, the more money the platforms make. It's that simple. Algorithms couldn't care less about truth. Actually, there was this famous MIT study that found fake news and outrage spread 6 times faster on Twitter than the actual truth. 6 times!
But contrast that with what we humans actually crave: truth, authenticity, and real emotion. Because the algorithms are constantly pushing content that hooks our most extreme emotions for profit, everything gets completely blown out of proportion. Creators exaggerate their success, the news exaggerates fear. And the end result? A digital world that is emotionally extreme but entirely spiritually empty.
And you can totally see the fallout of this in how we communicate today. Conversations online are way faster, shorter, and undeniably shallower. We're just trading in quick dopamine hits, likes, quick reaction emojis, short little comments, with almost zero depth. It's really the great tragic irony of our modern time. We are incredibly hyper-connected. I mean, you can talk to anyone, anywhere in the world, instantly. And yet, we feel profoundly, deeply disconnected. The depth of genuine human connection has been totally replaced by the rapid-fire speed of reactions, and it leaves us feeling deeply alone, even when we're standing in a crowded digital room.
Section 5. The artificial future.
And as if that wasn't enough, artificial intelligence is acting as a massive accelerant, making all of this exponentially more confusing. Our feeds are just getting flooded with AI-generated photos, AI-generated voices, and get this, entirely AI-generated influencers. Take Aitana Lopez, for example. She's this pink-haired fitness model on Instagram pulling in thousands of dollars a month in brand deals. The catch? She doesn't actually exist. At all. It's an incredibly unsettling reality because AI is actively, rapidly collapsing the line between what is completely real and what is totally artificial.
Imagine scrolling online right now and half the content you swipe past isn't even human. Would you even notice? Honestly, maybe not. And that is terrifying.
Section 6. The cost of performance.
We really have to step back and ask why fake content bothers us so much in the first place. And it comes down to this really simple, undeniable truth. Imperfection creates trust. When something feels too perfect, your brain just inherently becomes suspicious. Because real life isn't perfect. We humans aren't perfect. We are completely defined by our messy emotions, our bad hair days, our spilled coffee, our awkward moments, and our failures. That is exactly what makes us human. But social media hides almost all of that. And the more our messy, beautiful, chaotic reality gets hidden away, the more fake everything feels, and the more deeply we crave real connection.
So the crucial point is this. Modern social media often sells performance, and performance can never fully satisfy human connection. This is arguably the deepest truth of our digital age. People don't just miss the old chaotic internet. They deeply, deeply miss authenticity. They miss feeling something real. Deep down, humans don't actually crave perfection. We crave connection. And performance? Well, performance is simply a cheap substitute for the real thing.
I want to leave you with a thought to really linger on. Imagine a world where absolutely everyone performs constantly. Online, offline, every single interaction optimized, every emotion meticulously curated, every moment branded. If you perform long enough, do you even know who you really are anymore? That might just be the ultimate danger here. Not just fake posts, but total identity loss. Because when people perform for too long, they start to forget where the performance ends and where reality begins. The internet didn't just change, guys. Human behavior fundamentally changed right alongside it. And perhaps the scariest part isn't that social media feels fake. It's that we humans are slowly becoming part of that performance ourselves. Think about that the next time you scroll.